The next presenter is Priti Suri. They are with us for last 10 years. They always presented the presentations about diabetes, other topics. Now she will explain about the diet. What's the role of diet to prevent the stroke? Please listen to her carefully. Welcome everyone. First of all, I will ask some questions. You have to share some information with me. Which disease do you have? You can choose from the following: heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke, arthritis, osteoporosis, mental health problems, any other problem, or it doesn't apply. You don't have any disease. You can select more than one options. If you can provide us as much as information you are comfortable with. Thank you. Second question is, whatever chronic condition do you have, how you can manage it? What are the things you do? You can choose more than one option. Are you taking medication? Eating nutritional food, eating on time, and avoid substance like alcohol, sleep consistently, exercise regularly, attend therapy, or is there any other method you use, or you are not doing anything? Thank you. Now I will share my information with you. What is the role of diet to prevent stroke? And if the stroke happened to you, how we can manage? What is the role of our diet? So the experts, Dr. Chima, Dr. Jane, they already shared with you what are the risk factors of stroke, what are the things that can cause stroke: high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, people who smoke, or people use alcohol, or people don't exercise. All these factors, there are more chances of stroke if you have all these things. Here is the list. What are the risk factors that cause stroke? You can see most of the factors we can control. We can control it with a proper diet, like blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, all these conditions. All these things, this is the impact of diet. We can correct it. Dr. Jan showed very good slides and he explained clearly, but I'm going to link it with the diet. Cholesterol, he talked about cholesterol. Atherosclerosis, he talked about it. So how much fat food we eat, it directly impacts, and it depends on that fatty food. Hypertension or high blood pressure also related to the food, what diet you eat, how many high calories do you take. Diabetes, through iCON, we already had presentations about diabetes. If we eat the proper food, we can correct it. Even the heart disease is also connected to food, the diet we take. So we'll talk about it today. I will keep on two nutrients, salts and type of fats which are found in our diet. So first of all, we'll talk about salt. 80% of the people I talk to, so less salt in vegetables. We don't put salt in our lentil soup, but there are other ways you can get salt, because there are other food that the salt is present. For example, bread. We all have in our house 2 slices of bread. 2 slices of bread, 3% salt is present. If people eat sandwich or toast, or we snack, as a snack we eat 2 slices of bread. Normally 10% is right there. But we think 10% is a small number. If you keep on gathering it, 7% here, 10% there, it's a lot. If we showed you the package of chips, 15% salt. If we eat 15 chips, or in a small bowl of chips, 7% will be present. 7% salt will be present in a small bowl of chips. If we make chicken in air fryer, before we used to do it in the oven. Ketchup and packages of masala, it's a big culprit. Lot of salt in that, lot of sweet. We can't even estimate how much we are using it, and how much is impacting our normal health. In 2%, even in ketchup, there is a lot of salt and sweet sugar. Same with the masala. There is a lot of salt in those spices. Any gathering, anything, there are samosas, we use them at home. One samosa has 32% salt. One samosa is 32%. So then there is another salty snack. There are other salty foods. So how high our salt is in our snacks. And even in patura, there is salt. If we eat one patura, it's okay. We think that. But if we 2%, if we eat 2 paturas, there is a salt. And if we eat chickpeas, there is a salt. And salt in pakoras. 3 pakoras has 20% of salt. The good thing is there is no salt in laddu, but there is a lot of sweetness, a lot of sugar. There is no salt, but a lot of sugar in laddu. And as I told you, we will talk about fat. Everybody says eat less fat, eat less ghee, eat less butter, eat less oil. Where is the limit? Where is the limit? Most of 3 to 5 tablespoons of fat, 4 to 7 tablespoons of fat is good enough for men. 3 to 5 tablespoons is good enough for females. Even as Dr. Jan told us, there are many types of fat, like butter, ghee. These are all kinds of fat. There are some stuff, there is natural fat present. There are different types of, there is a good fat, 4 to 7 spoon we talked about. That the important thing is you have to have good fat on those 4 to 7 spoons, because it will block it will deposit in your blood vessels. The blood vessels will become tight. So it's like a traffic light. I have shown you that there are 3 types of fats. The red is saturated fat. I can give you examples later on. So you have to be careful while taking this kind of fat. So little bit fat of is important. Second is orange jello. We call it wufa. The green, the healthier one, mufa. Now, so we will talk about 3 types of fat, saturated fat. So we have to be careful about it, about the consumption. We have to be really careful. Yeah, if you leave it at room temperature, it's like becomes solid. It's like butter, tea. This is if you keep them at the room temperature, they will be solid. So this saturated fat mostly comes from the animals, like butter, ghee. So lard is also one example of that. The room temperature, they are solid. They are saturated fat. As I told, the chances are more that it will deposit in the blood vessels. For example, the saturated fat is like present in eggs. The yolk of eggs, the yellow part of the egg, it is a saturated fat. It's not that healthy, but it doesn't mean that you are not supposed to consume the egg yolk. There are other vitamins. If our seniors have one egg, there is no problem. And even homo milk, you can taste fat because it becomes, so we should avoid that cream. So in meat, avoid the skin, meat with the skin, because there is a lot of fat in the skin. The key is saturated fat. Paneer is also from milk, made from milk. There is saturated fat, and even in cheese and cream, there is saturated fat present. Now, second type of PUFA. This type of fat is healthy. Again, always keep in mind, only 4 to 7 tablespoons of fat. It's good for your heart. It's good for your blood vessels. Like, for example, fatty fish, sandwich. Yes, haddock is good. Walnuts, this is good type of fats. You can eat those. Trans fat, now we will talk about that. It's not present in the traffic light I told you earlier. Crisco is a vegetable oil. These fats, synthesized fats, these fats are synthesized fats. There is no need for to our body because it will deposit in blood vessels and it will increase your blood pressure. Don't eat it at all. Try to avoid them. Fried foods, the shops we bought, even if they use good oil, but they warm the oil in the fire every day and repeatedly warmed and then used, so naturally it will increase the content of trans fat in it. Same for baked goods. We call them cookies, kachoris. There is a shortening present. The oil, the shortening is it's not very good quality. It's less good quality. And now we will talk about cholesterol. How it deposits in our blood vessels, very unhealthy. it's important to understand that the cholesterol is only come from animal fat. So not from the vegetarian sources of fat is oil. That oil, as Dr. Jan said, it's like putting oil on the fire. It could do that, but it's not a direct source of cholesterol. Like meat, it has oil, homo milk, paneer, ghee. These are also source of cholesterol. Now, where the fat comes from? When we fry the onions for the vegetable, we put ghee on paratha, we put oil on paratha. That's how it comes in our like samosa. So you have to remember that how many times that oil was used over the days, and then there is a lot of fat in samosas. So 1 spoon is 18 grams of fat. 5 to 7 tablespoons of oil you can use, but how much is used in one samosa? And 1 big spoon is used for 1 bhatura. So you can imagine how much oil is found. Again, pakode high in fat. Like when the laddus are made, it's the chickpea flour is fried in the oil, and it depends on what kind of oil it was fried in. So there is a lot of oil in a laddu. It's not good. And the quality, the second thing is the quality. So what we should eat, now we will talk about that. What we should avoid, what we should eat. There are a lot of nutrients the body needs. Protein, fiber, calcium, vitamins. These are all things that body need. We have to eat all these things. It's important to eat. We will talk about it next. If I talk about the nutrients we should eat, like muffins, cakes, gulab jamun, panjiri, coke, it's not present in those things. So so when it comes to the nutrition, you can enjoy panjiri. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Energy rich foods, where we get our energy, what food we should eat for to get our energy. Whole wheat bread, oats, dalia and khichdi, breakfast cereals, potatoes. These are the sources of energy. Starch, we can say starch is considered energy rich food. So it will impact on your sugar, and it will give energy to our body. Most of the grains we get energy from. We should try as much as possible, eat whole grain as much as possible, not the all-purpose flour, because the fiber, the skin is gone, and then the rest of the gem. So the fiber is very important to our body. So the whole grain is important because it's grinded with the skin. Next slide, please. Now we talk about protein. We need protein to build muscles. I tell my children, yes, I show them the Lego pieces. If as we grow old, it's very important to consume protein. Chicken is good source of protein. People who eat chicken, but unhealthy fat is present in the skin. So lentils, tofu, as far as much possible. Lentils, tofu, soy, they are very healthy. They are more healthier than meat. So try to eat vegetarian proteins. Nuts are the good source. So because the vadiya made of lentils, quick, simple source if you need. It's a good protein. Protein-rich foods sources. Animal protein, there is a fat present. Like tofu and lentils, the vegetarian proteins, there is fat. Sometimes, you include vegetarian protein sources as well. Nuts, pecans, almonds, walnuts, they are very good nuts. They have good fat in it. Now, protein-rich foods that are shown here, they are also proteins, but at the same times, they are in yellow category, as we talked about the stop light. So it's more in the yellow, they fall more in the yellow category. They are surely proteins, but they eat less paneer, eat more tofu, or mix both them together in your vegetables. Sometimes we don't think about that because paneer has more fat. Chicken sauces, then eat real chicken instead of the chicken sauces. Then we have to look what kind of chicken is mixed in the sauces. Chicken nuggets, we don't know what is put in there. So last example is fish pakoras. Fish is very good for you, but if you put batter on it, salt on it, fry, then there is a oil consumption. Then your oil consumption increases. Fiber and vitamin-rich foods, very healthy food. We are blessed. We live in BC. We will have we will get fresh vegetables and fruits, and for the next 3-4 months we can get vitamins, we can get fiber, and it's very important for the body functions, extremely important. So eat them in a natural form as much as possible. Doesn't matter. Natural is better than the package, but it doesn't mean that the ones that are frozen that are not good. I'm not saying that, but if these are frozen, no problem using them. Canned in the water, but at the same time, if you get it in a can or 10, just look for it if it's preserved in sugary water or salty water. Prevent it just with the water, one that is stored in water. Juice, if you didn't make it yourself, you just, if you drink store-bought, use is only sugar, nothing else. If you make juice yourself, don't throw the pulp. Your body will get benefit from the pulp. Don't drink it just for taste. You can eat fruit, cut the fruit, eat it, or drink your juice with the pulp. Anything that's preserved in water, not in salt and sugar, they are healthy. The canned fruit, then you don't have, it's easy, you don't have to cut them. It's healthy, but fresh vegetables are the healthier. We will talk about the calcium in younger age and then older age. In younger age, because the calcium is very important for our bones. Because we are building bones, so it's very important. But in old age, because our bones are deteriorating, so it's important. So it helps with the bones. Use low fat, use 1%. When I talk about skim milk, and then everybody look at me like surprisingly, I will recommend that you should avoid homo milk. No, then use low fat cheese. If you wanna buy yogurt, low fat and sugar free is better. Most of the calcium rich foods, no sugar, no, you are making at home. It's a trend in these days. Don't put sugar in it, because there is the milk and yogurt, it has its own taste. There is a natural taste in it. You will enjoy that. But if you will put sugar in it, everything will disappear. The natural taste will disappear. I will give you examples here. What are the things you can use? Flavored yogurt, you can check fat and sugar in it. Yogurt drinks, usually children use it. That's important to check. Processed cheese. There is a lot of types of cheese present in the market, but the cheese slices are mostly highly processed. They are individually packed, very much processed. You try to read the labels. No, not processed cheese is good. The natural cheese is like a little bit thick, but not individually wrapped. So try to choose that. So same thing with the ghee. If we were going to make a normal meal now, you can see on the diagram. So because if we look at it, it's like we can see it visually. Energy rich food, then we need the whole wheat, protein rich. Half of the plate should be with the fiber, food with full of fiber, and then drink. Breakfast, the example, one paratha, one small paratha. Always do small, always small quantity. If you have a pin, so the diameter of your paratha should be like a pin. If your paratha is too big, so it's not. It has to be a small paratha, 2 eggs, 1 apple, and glass of milk. Very healthy. Lunch, we will talk about lunch. We will show you in this diagram. So if it's a small roti, salad, very simple, just to cut the vegetables, then yogurt, snack, for example, 2 slices of bread, and there is a meat. And then you can use another protein if you don't eat meat, and then the vegetables. Our typical meals are like aloo paratha. There is the flour, then there is butter, and then there are potatoes. They all are source of energy. The protein is missing. That's why I want to you can change it. That's about it for me. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening to me. Thank you. That's all.